Hello everyone. In today's lecture we are going to see DNA profiling. So in DNA profiling we will see DNA and its polymorphism, DNA typing procedures in which RELP or REFLP is there, then PCR and STR techniques are involved. So first we are going to see what is meant by DNA profiling. So DNA profiling is a forensic technique in criminal investigations, comparing criminal suspects' profiles to DNA evidence so as to assess the likelihood of their involvement in the crime. So simply DNA profile involves the forensic technique in which the criminal investigations are done by using comparison of a criminal suspect's profile to DNA evidence so as to assess the likelihood of their involvement in the crimes. And it is also used in parentage testing to establish immigration eligibility and in a genealogical and medical research. So DNA profiling is useful in finding the parentage testing. Then it is useful to establish immigration eligibility and in genealogical and medical research. Then DNA profiling is also known as DNA fingerprinting and is the process of determining an individual's DNA characteristics. As we know, each and every person on this earth has a unique identity is the DNA profiling or the DNA. And DNA analysis intended to identify a species rather than an individual and is called as a DNA barcoding. And DNA profiling is a forensic technique in which the criminal investigations, as I have said, comparing criminal suspects' profiles to DNA evidences to find out the involvement in the crimes. And it is also used to finding the parentage testing, immigration eligibility, medical researches and the genealogical things. And DNA profiling has also been used in the study of animal and plant populations in the fields of zoology, botany and the agri. And now DNA polymorphism. So polymorphism involves one of two or more variants of a particular DNA sequence. So simply one or more forms of the variants of the DNA is called as a polymorphism, and the most common type of the polymorphism which involves variation at a single base pair. And polymorphisms can also be much larger in size and which involves long stretches of DNA. Then DNA polymorphisms, which includes different DNA sequences among individuals, groups or populations. And polymorphism at the DNA level, which includes a wide range of variants from single base pair change, then many base pair changes and repeated sequences. So sequence will be like this: TA, TA, TA or AGC, AGC. So simply repeating units are there. Then the genomic variability can be present in many forms, which include single nucleotide polymorphisms, variable number of tandem repeating units, that are VNTRs, which includes mini satellites and microsatellites. Then transposable elements, which includes allorepeats, and structural alterations and copy number variations. So these are the genomic variability, which includes very common forms as SNPs, VNTRs and the transposable elements and structural alternatives. Then Different forms of DNA polymorphisms can be tracked by using a variety of techniques, and some techniques are restricted fragment length polymerisms or polymorphisms, that are RFLPs. RFLP means restricted fragment length polymorphisms with southern blots. And next one is a PCR, that is a polymerase chain reaction. And last one is a hybridization technique using DNA microarray chips and genome sequencing. So to find out DNA polymorphisms or the sequence chains or the variations in the sequences, there are some techniques like RFLP, that are restriction fragment length polymorphisms. Then PCRs, that means polymerase chain reactions. Third one is a hybridization technique using microarray chips of DNA and the genome sequencing. Then during the last years, the recent advance of molecular technologies which revealed new discoveries of DNA polymorphisms, and DNA polymorphisms are endless and more discoveries continue at a rapid rate, mapping the human genome, which requires a set of genetic markers. And DNA polymorphism serves as a genetic marker for its own location in the chromosomes. Thus, they are convenient for analysis and are often used as in molecular genetic studies. So, chromosomes plays a vital role or the very important role in the study of a genetic science. Then here is the interpretation and the practical use of DNA profiling. Or the question will be asked, how is a DNA profile is produced nowadays? So DNA profiling steps are included here, which are shown in this diagram. So first point is a DNA sample. Initially you have to collect a DNA sample, then we are going to extract this sample. So this is the DNA fragment. So now by using PCR techniques, we have to label the primers. So these primers are labeled, and now these are called as a labeled STRs. Then next step is electrophoresis. After that, fourth step is visualization, and we can visualize a plot like shown in this diagram. This is known as a DNA profile. So simply first step is extraction. Second one is a PCR with labeled primers. Third one is a labeled STRs. Third is a electrophoresis, and fourth is a visualization, that is a DNA profile. Now the first step is the extraction. In the extraction step, we have to initially collect the sample and then DNA extraction can be done. So we require the blood. So whole blood is in the form of a liquid. So initially take around 5 ml of the liquid blood in a EDTA vial, or when blood is in the form of a clot, so whole blood clot is taken if size is very small. When blood is in the form of a wet blood stains, blood is taken or sterile cotton swab and air dried, and after that sent it to the lab in the Ziploc polybags. When the dried blood stains are there, then whole dried blood should be sealed in a Ziploc polybag. So all this type of bloods can be taken in the different type of the species like vial, cotton bag, or the polybags, or a Ziploc polybags. Then when there is a semen, then dried seminal stain similarly as blood can be taken. When semen is wet seminal stain should be considered for the analysis. Then for the DNA extraction, you can take hair roots, saliva, and the salivary stains, which can be taken in a glass tube. After that, body tissue cells should be taken in a clean sterile container. When fingernails are there, then fingernail scraping taken in a polybag. When post-mortem samples like muscle, spleen, bone marrow, organs, vascular pulp, or the teeth were taken in a sterile plastic tube without any preservative. If delay is there, then freeze this all the specimens under minus 20 degrees Celsius in a cold condition. So blood is collected, semen is collected, you can collect here, saliva and salivary stains, then body tissues, fingernails or the muscles, spleen, bone marrow, organs or the vascular pulp, or you can take teeth for DNA analysis or DNA extraction. Then DNA is extracted from a biological sample, as I have told earlier, and unlike the original DNA fingerprinting method, and DNA profiling does not use a restriction enzyme to cut the DNA. Instead, it uses a polymerase chain reaction, that is a PCR, to produce many copies of the specific STR sequences. So simply see here is a DNA strand and this can be cutted into small pieces by using the PCR. That is a polymerase chain reaction to produce many copies of the specific STR sequences. And PCR is an automated procedure that generates lots of copies of the sequences of the DNA, and it only requires a small amount of DNA to start with and can even make copies from a DNA sample that is partially degraded. As we know, as the time goes on, DNA will go to decrease or the decompose. So its activity will be decreased. So intensity versus time in which the intensity is lowered. After that, in small bits of DNA called primers, which binds to complementary sequences of the DNA of interest and mark the starting point for the copying of the DNA of interest. So see in this diagram, here is the starting point of this thread is shown by a color. So this is for copying of the DNA of interest. And the STR analysis, the primers used in the PCRs are designed to attach to either end of the STR sequence of the interest, and the primers for each STR is labeled with a specific colored fluorescent tag. So in this diagram again, see here STRs, the primer is labeled with the colored point, and this makes it easier to identify and record the STR sequences after PCR. And once enough copies of the sequence have been produced by PCR method or the polymerase chain reaction, the electrophoresis technique is used to separate the fragments according to their size. And each fragment passes by a laser which causes the fragments with fluorescent tags to glow with a specific color, and the output is displayed as series of colored peaks on the readout device as shown in the diagram here. Only one person in every 10 million will have a particular STR profile. So as I have said, the DNA is a fingerprint. This is a unique identity of a human being.